All right, so let's get started. For those of you who were not here last time, we've changed the meeting format a little bit. So we have a little bit of news, what's happening and updates, and then we have the topic for the weekly meeting, and then we have roundtable discussion. Okay, so we'll go, um, you know, and see what everybody's feeling about the market and what's new and just do a roundtable discussion. All right. So what's new in real estate market, right? Again, Bank of Canada maintained its 2.25% policy rate. So we all know that this happened in January, right? Urban demand, major metro sales remain below long-term averages, right? Reflecting affordability since despite rate stability, right? This is from TREB. Active listing across Ontario have climbed to roughly 5 months of supply, right? And all of these stats can be found on these references, right? So Bank of Canada, TREB, Korea.ca. And in terms of Tri-City, we're seeing average price, and this is the average, sit around mid 700 range, right? And the conditions are now balanced rather than seller dominated. So just last couple of weeks, I've been showing properties in Kitchener-Waterloo, and every single property that I've shown uh, got more than one offer. So two offers, three offers, one got seven offers. This was a detached house on Highbrook Street. And again, they were priced a little bit under and they ended up selling over asking, right? So we're seeing that people are making decisions about buying and selling, and we're seeing market balance out a lot more than last year, right? For Guelph, we have average roughly 30 days on the market, right? Signaling steady absorption despite provincial softening, right? So in Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, it's the same, almost the same thing. 30 days on the market is the average, and Guelph is 30, right? Again, if it's priced right, less than 30, right? On an average, we're seeing about 30 days to sell a house. All right, so let's get into today's topic, right? So this is a very crucial thing and something that I personally love, lead generation, right? So there are actually five pillars, but we'll be only discussing three. I didn't want to go over too much, in depth. We'll cover five pillars at a later discussion, but today we're covering three main pillars for a sustainable lead generation. Right? So before we start, let me ask you guys, because I would like your input on this topic. So what do you guys use for lead generation? What do we all use? Let's see. You have to, all right, give me one second. Oh, made it too big.
I would say a lot of
Yes, Megan.
platforms like Facebook
Okay.
or Zillow, GG, these kind of platforms where we can put our listings.
Okay. So you using digital space, right? For lead
Yeah,
gen.
digital platforms. Yes.
Okay, good, good. Anybody else?
Existing clients as a good they are a good source for new lead generation,
So
and
past
also
clients or
existing
existing client? Yeah.
yeah
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So if you have existing clients or past clients, you can also ask them for referrals.
yeah
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thank you. So over 60% of agents rely on one primary lead source. That's the problem. If you ever talk to any top producing agent and you ask them, what do you do for lead generation? Their answer will be everything. If they tell you one or the other thing, they most likely they're not doing that well. So 60% of the agents they rely on one lead source alone. Right? It could be digital, it could be referrals, past clients, seminars, webinars, in-person, client events, right? So single source pipelines create income instability, right? So what that means is, let's say if somebody's really heavy on Facebook marketing, and I've faced this in the past. Facebook constantly keeps changing their algorithm and the way they advertise, and new things come up. And once there's a change in their system, it will definitely impact your lead generation and how many leads you're getting, right? And if that's your only source of leads, uh, if let's say there's an outage on Facebook or something happens or they update their terms and conditions, you'll have tough time surviving. You'll be like, oh, I don't know anything else. I just know Facebook leads, right? Same thing with friends and family, right? If you've helped friends and family for the last couple of years, there's not much that they will do. They won't keep buying and selling, right? And there will be a time frame where everybody has bought or sold recently, and they're just waiting for a couple of years to do anything, to make a move or to invest, right? And if that's your only lead source, then you'll have a couple of years of unstable income. Sustainable growth requires diversified strategies. What that means is you have to have minimum 3 lead sources, right, at all times, right? I would recommend 5, but at least 3 lead sources, right? And there's actually 20 lead sources that we can go over. So let's go to pillar 1, relationship-based leads, right? So this is where uh, my dad said existing clients or past clients, right? So this is your sphere of influence. So your past clients, people who have worked with you, they know you, like you, trust you, they will refer you more business, or they would want to buy or sell, upsize, downsize. Second, people that in your sphere. So it could be contractor, mortgage agent, lawyers, right? I always tell them, I say, hey, perfect, great working with you, and I'm looking forward to your referral, right? I always put that in their head that, look, it's good that we're working together. I'm recommending you, but I need you to do the same thing and send me clients. These clients are easier to deal with. They are happy to work with you. Again, this is something that's coming from your sphere, easy to convert, and easier to show value to, right? It's not a cold lead off of Facebook. And how do we do that? Consistent follow-ups. A lot of us, we follow up with our past clients, right? But we forget about the sphere. So we have to follow up with the sphere too. So lawyers, mortgage agents, home inspectors, right? I have a database and I keep sending them emails, not as a client, but as my sphere that, hey, would you like to, attend this webinar? What's your take on this? Like, this is what's happening in real estate market, right? And here's the referral. Do you know anyone who's looking to buy and sell? Right? So have a list of vendors and put them in your sphere and meet with them, get coffee, and send them referrals and get referrals from them, right? Systemized check-in with clients and long-term advocates. So same thing, like, don't forget about people that have already bought and people in your sphere, right? If some of us are part-time, right, and we're working somewhere else, ask those guys, tell them, hey, look, you know about this first-time home buyer incentive that can really benefit you, and I can get you into your dream home, right? So make sure you follow up with the past client sphere, and then also try to build new relationships, right? That is done when you go out and meet with a lawyer, mortgage agent, right, or another realtor in a different province, right? If you're traveling, or if you do a lot of business, a lot of us do condos in Calgary, Vancouver. So it's always a good idea to call them, have a Zoom call, and then build these referral networks. I have agents out in Manitoba. I send them referrals, they send me referrals. So it works, right? Every year from this lead source, you can, if you're following up, you can count on getting 2 to 3 referrals, right? And they close very quickly. Moving on, pillar 2 and 3. So second pillar is digital, right? Now everything's becoming digital. People are more into AI, AI automation, Facebook, Google, all these things are good. But like I said, it can't be the only way you're generating leads, right? So digital space is what Mega mentioned. Facebook leads, Zillow leads, we can buy leads from other lead gen companies, right? Yes, they'll deliver you leads. We still have to call them. We still have to build rapport, right? And we still have to close them. Right? It's just the cycle is longer. Online leads are longer to convert, but they're also, I was looking at the stats that most 90% of the people are looking online first, right? So all the first-time buyers are online. Right? So that's where they start their search, and then they eventually meet a realtor, and then they start putting offers, right? So that's the digital pillar, right? Which is crucial. We have to have presence. We have to have organic presence. So if people are looking us up, a lot of times when I do presentations, people, they Google me and they see my reviews and they see, okay, what is this guy up to? How many deals have they done? What are their reviews? What kind of value am I getting by working with this company or this person, right? If you don't have a lot of online presence, right, and we're actively reaching out to clients, we're actively putting money into these Facebook, Instagram ads, and we don't have organic presence, people will say, "Oh, I can't trust this person," right? So if you're consistently posting, that builds trust. If you see some of the big realtors, you'll see thousands and thousands of posts, right? They're consistently posting. So that those posts don't get them clients, but that builds trust. With consistency, people know this person has been around, they have been doing this long term, and they're consistently posting, giving out value, right? Organically. And then number 3 is active prospecting, right? And in my opinion, this is the most important way of generating new business. So a lot of us don't do this, right? We rely on Sphere, past clients, or online leads because it's easy, right? But the real way to build business is active prospecting, right? What that means is picking up the phone, right? And trying to set up meetings, other realtors, going to these mastermind events, BNI events. I don't go to BNI. I used to. I don't see any value there anymore. But a lot of new realtors, it's really good to go to these BNI meetings, and you can easily get 1 deal a year, right? And good way to build your network and meet with people. So that's active prospecting, right? Also, another form of active prospecting, door knocking. A lot of us don't do it. We can't do it, but that's active prospecting, right? Putting out flyers, just sold, just listed, right? So, and that's how I started my real estate career. I started with active prospecting, and then slowly I got into other things because starting out, you're not going to have past clients, and a lot of us will not have funds to put in hundred thousands of dollars into digital marketing, right? And hope that something comes back. So active prospecting is free. Another active prospecting example is for sale by owners. So for sale by owners are, again, they're free, you're not paying for them, and just call them, book a meeting, preview their home, show them value, and eventually they'll list with you. All right, and then combining the inbound, outbound creates the predictable lead flow. So these 3 things done consistently, every day, every month, every 6 months, 3 months, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, will give you a predictable business. Because whenever one lead source is slow, the other one will um, give you a lead, right? So you're consistently building that. Okay, I'm consistently doing 2 deals a month. I'm consistently doing 1 deal a month, and then some months you're doing 3, 4. But there's a consistent 1 deal a month uh, income coming in, right? And that's what we all want, because real estate is not predictable. We can do 4 or 5 deals, but because the way it's set up, closing will be 3, 4, 6 months down the line. We're not going to have that access to funds immediately, right? So it's always good to have pipeline filled out and to have different sources to make sure that every month we're doing a deal, right? Or whatever you guys, your goals are. It could be 10 deals a month, right? We just have to do more of these. All right. So, key takeaways for today's session. If FundPillar stopped producing tomorrow, would your current system still sustain consistent income? So that's the question you guys have to ask. And the key takeaway from today's session is we need more than one lead flow, right? So don't depend on one thing that, I'll just have, my friends and family will buy or sell with me, or I have this amazing lead gen company. They promised me 1 deal a month, right? That doesn't happen. So if we're not doing all of these three prospecting activities, chances are we will have unstable income, right? And some of us are okay with that, right? But if you're full-time, or if you're planning on going full-time into real estate, especially for newer agents, right, you have to do these 3 things consistently, right? You don't have to do big volume, just a little bit. 10, 10, 10, 10 deals for 10 calls for, past clients, 10 calls to the online leads that you got, and then 10 calls to new active prospects. Like somebody stopped into your open house, door knocking, and you name it. So, any questions on this? Let's ask you guys. What do you guys think? Any questions, feedback?
Not from my end. Thank you.
Perfect. So, Mega, are you using all 3 lead sources, or how many are you using just
So
digital?
for now, I mainly use like the social media and the referral.
Okay.
I have not been very successful in doing anything offline, to be honest. I am planning to do that, more like a flyers and things like that, which will just take me on the offline places as well to get the sources.
Okay.
Referrals have actually been good,
Yeah.
but that's not really something for when you're just starting your work. So like I get referrals from my previous tenants for a new tenanted building. So
Okay.
that is one thing. And the Facebook is has been the most helpful for me in all the online platforms in terms of getting the tenant clients so
So
far. And
teach us, Meg, how do you do? We have Gary. I know I had a discussion with Gary on this past Saturday. So what do you do on Facebook? Is it marketplace,
me,
right? Yes. How do you get
yes,
clients?
yes, it's marketplace.
Okay, perfect. So it works, right? It's not that
It works 100%. Like all of what I have done is, I would say, really to Facebook Marketplace. In
yeah,
Yeah, because like if you have listing, if you have people who allow you to put their listing, you're just gonna get inquiries from that. And those
yeah,
inquiries can turn into tenant, into buyers, anything. It's harder to build trust for buyers. Like buyers tend to not trust a lot when they're finding somebody via Facebook Marketplace, but then that's how you
yeah,
gotta start, I
yeah.
feel.
I every year I have a buyer from Facebook Marketplace, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I
so
get one, and I don't do that many leases, but again, I have done a lot of leases. Like, and it's perfect if we have a listing and we put it on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times people contact us and we have the chance to double end it, right? Not that we have to, but a lot of times we find that perfect tenant and we connect them to the landlord, right? So it's very powerful. So that's good. Good, perfect. Perfect, Mayor. Thank you. Anybody else? Well, I would like to share what's their main source of lead gen, or what their main source
I
of lead
have
gen
the
will
same.
be.
I have the
Oh,
same, only online. I don't do anything
online?
offline. Yeah, even though I have something just like events with community, make parties, but
Yeah.
other than that, knock door, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't do that? Okay. Yeah, I know it's not for everyone. It's door knocking is tough, and you don't have to do it. There's other ways, but you should have always more than one, right? And perfect, perfect. Let's get what's our agenda. Let me see. Maybe my screen not too big. Okay. Let's do a round table. I think some of us we've lost Harold. So let's do a round table. Let's see what everyone's up to, or if they have any questions, any feedback about the market, and then we'll end the session. Let's start with Gary. We'll start with you. How are you finding
Hi.
the market? What's happening?
Yeah, actually, Arch, I was searching around about our last meeting that I
Yeah,
like put two ads on Facebook, which is my own, and I got one of my friend. His basement is right now like empty, so
okay,
I'm receiving a lot of messages on that. That is it available? So
good.
we are discussing on that.
Perfect. Perfect. So
Yeah.
that's crucial. Everything we talk here, we
Mm-hmm.
have to act on it. And that's great that you took action. Because if you just listen to what I'm saying, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have any value. But if you take
Okay.
action, you'll see results. So perfect. So start building them, building the database. And whenever you connect with someone, get their name and email, and then
Yes.
save them in your database because they are going to be your future clients.
Right.
Okay. So also have databases can help you with the CRM. If you need CRM to have database, connect with the. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Um, let's go to Tani. What's happening? Congrats on your first deal with us. I saw that you did the commercial property, right?
Yeah, I have the second one right now. I'm only finish it with them. I believe they sign it right now. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah,
Congrats. Yeah, good, good.
yeah, thanks.
You're picking up the pace. Perfect. Right.
Yeah, the
Good.
problem is with the market is shifting right now, so no one wants
Yeah.
to sell. When I did, everyone who wants to sell, I did the CMA.
Yeah.
When they saw the price, they didn't accept to put their house in the market. So
Yeah. That is the challenge. People have to
yeah,
realize market has changed. It's not what it
I
used to
told
be.
them, we don't know if it's gonna be, even though it's reducing in the price. So even though they
Yeah.
told me we have to wait.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I made more than four presentation for selling. So no one wants to do that after do all
Yeah.
the CMA. Yep, that's all.
Okay. No, I mean, keep doing that. And I'm sure people will eventually be ready. And, you get the right seller because there's no point of taking the listing and not have it sold, right? All right, Baz, I see you up next. Thanks, Tani. If you're, I think I just saw Baz.
Hey,
Hey, yes, Baz, what's happening with you? How are you finding the market and what's anything you'd like to
um,
share? Listings, buyer deals you're
I've
working
got a
on?
couple people that I'm talking to about potentially selling in the next couple months. So I've got a couple people on the go. Um,
Perfect.
but I think the market is it's going to be an interesting one this year. Like I think that Canada has to really renegotiate the CUMCA, the free trade
Yeah,
agreement between the US, Mexico, and the US. And so yesterday we saw that Canada just announced their chief negotiator for that.
Yeah.
But to a market like Guelph, I think that's fundamentally important, like where we've got such big employers in the automotive industry. Um, it's going
Right.
to be interesting to see if that deal is renegotiated this year. But it seems to me like the market it's slower than I ever remember it being in this time of
Mhm.
year. But we'll see if the spring market picks up here. Like the next couple months, I think are going to be critical to tell us how this year will play out.
You're right. You're right. It's too early to say it will be good year, bad year, or anything. We don't know what will happen, right?
Yeah.
Year just started. It's the second month, right? So
Yeah.
you're right.
But
Even people asking me,
the
yeah,
the good news though is for like a lot of the agents even on this call right now is some of them are newer in the business and so they're not carrying the baggage of previous years. So it doesn't matter if the market goes up or down or sideways to a new agent.
yeah,
Like you say, it's just a matter of getting out and prospecting, however you do it, shaking hands, going to
yeah,
open houses, hosting open houses. What one thing that worked for me was when I was young and just starting in the business, whenever one of the other agents in my office had an open house available to work, I would go and
yeah,
work those open houses. So
yeah,
if that's one of the things I'd encourage Arch is for any of the agents in our office when they have a listing, if they don't
yeah,
want to do an open house on it themselves, they should
yeah,
offer it to offer it office wide so that everybody in the office can go and work the open house because I think those are really good for prospecting.
yeah. You're right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely good. Perfect. Thanks, Baz. And
Okay.
then we're at Sachin. What's happening with your lead gen? What are you working on? Anything with the office or anything?
Yeah. mm, okay. Yeah, uh, I've got my list ready and I'm working on that. And hopefully in coming months, not hopefully, I'm pretty sure in coming months I'll be able to make a good deal. Yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Yeah.
How are you finding the market? Any feedback on market or anything?
Market is as it is, and whatever I have gone through or I have read, um, the market is going to be like that. But it's not the market which matters. What matters is the person. Markets keep going up and down, but good performer, they always perform well. They always come out with good numbers. So it is not really the market, but what is inside us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that matters.
Yeah. Perfect.